Hey everyone, so now that the Chalk Prince and the Dragon event is now coming to its conclusion, I decided to review it and see how it compares to the last events that we had in the game, aka the official event we had, and then the Crucible, which we don't talk about because that event sucked. Anyways, this event so far, I haven't talked much about it, but I think this is the best event like that they've ever released. You don't need to use resin. The rewards are ridiculous. You get this free uh, weapon to refinement rank 5 for free, and this weapon, the Festering Desire, is absolutely ridiculous. I'm going to have a separate video on this weapon at refinement rank 5 with Albedo, because I think that's probably one of his best swords. But I mean, the rewards for this Chalk Prince and the Dragon event are, as I said, really, really, really good. You have, of course, you have the Festering Dragon Marrow, which is what you use to refinement rank and get that sword leveled up higher, so you can get the refinement rank 5. You just have a whole bunch of stuff like weapon ascension materials, you have books, you have weapon enhancement materials here with the Mystic Enhancement Ores, and then you have a ton of Mora. I mean, there's nothing really else you can ask from a event in terms of just, having really, really, really valuable stuff. I mean, this is like a really good bang for your buck in terms of time, especially since you don't have to use any resin at all, which means, you're able to farm this up and then completely take out the entire shop, and once you're done with the entire shop, you can, still be on your way and have all your resin that you haven't used at all during the day to go ahead and spend that on. Maybe you're missing out on, some of this mercury, and you need to go to the domains to go get some more of this. And you're like, oh man, I'm out of resin. Well, then you come to the shop, and if you haven't sold it out yet, then you'll have some in here you'll be able to get for free. So I think that's really, really awesome. This was part 1 or part 2, I think, with this shop opened, and then this was part 3. Yeah, this is a part 3 shop. This one was just as easy. I think this one was probably easier than the last one. But it follows a really nice storyline with Albedo, and of course, even after Act 4, which we are in now, after Act 4, we are going to be heading for Albedo's story quest. So that's going to be really nice because it's going to be just some extra gems, and we'll be able to probably use Albedo as a character during his story quest, so anyone that hasn't pulled him will have a chance to use him rather than just using him inside of the test run. But I mean, the shop's ridiculous. Of course, you have a Crown of Insight, which is probably one of the most valuable things in the game. We just have Hero's Wit, some more Mora. We have this, of course, you're able to buy 2 of these, which is for the weapon, as I said. So I love how, they kind of kept it all together, and they didn't really want you to rush through this thing, but like literally at like first day, I always bought out the shops, especially this first and second one. Literally like within, I think, like 2 hours, I just grinded both of these and I sold out the entire shops. So I get why they would want to have a daily limit on it, in terms of they had the event spaced out. I think, what was it, 2 days each or 3 days? So every 2 to 3 days, the extra part would come out. So part 1 was out. 2 days later, part 2 came out. 2 days later, part 3 came out. 2 days later, part 4 came out. I think that's how it is. It's either 2 or 3 days. I don't remember exactly. But, I mean, this event is exactly what you would want. And in terms of just the rewards are amazing. Now, the event is kind of not that really difficult. I think I beat the final part, the final flower you have to fight. I think my best time was like 1 minute and 18 seconds. That's just because Child plus Vaporize is pretty broken, obviously, but I mean, what more can they want from an event? You have no resin. There is really no complaints to be said here. I mean, I don't see anyone complaining about like the rewards at all. I mean, you have a Crown of Insight, you have a free refinement rank 5 insanely like really, really good sword. That's meant for the new character Albedo, of course, so if you pulled him, it's a really good sword for him, but even not, it's an energy recharge sword, which can be used for characters like Bennett. So if you don't have a really good sword for Bennett, that energy recharge sword would be great. I mean, I see no reason to complain about this event at all. I mean, you use no resin, you get, really, really good. You're able to buy up to 9 books. It's not like it takes forever for you to get this miraculous essence. You get 150 per run. So it's really easy to clear out the shops. It's only going to take you about, 10 to 15 runs. And it's not like, you're not getting any primo gems from this. You're only getting this rewards, because if you head into the event details, every single act had, this challenge is for you to collect 60 Rhyme Worn fragments, and you're able to get 30 gems on top of some Mora. And then for this one, you got some weapon ascension materials. Then you got some, of course, some heavy horns, and then you got recruits insignia. So I mean, there's just a lot of rewards that you're able to go through. And then for the next one, it's just tons of more primo gems. I think this is at least a multi 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, 180. So you literally just a free single for almost every single act except for Act 1. Act 3, I think that's the exact same amount of rewards. So, I mean, there's a lot of free primo gems, a lot of free Mora especially. I think this is around 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120. I think this is about 240, 360. I think this is about, what, 420,000. So, I mean, that's really good. So, 420,000 Mora, about 4 single summons around there, 3 single summons. So, I mean, just for beating the event, for refining rank, the free-to-play weapon, you get 30 gems. Just a ton of free items, free Mora, free gems. The event shop is ridiculous. And then on top of that, if it wasn't enough, if you have the Festering Desire equipped on a character, they will do 60% more damage to opponents in the Dragonspine region. Then they will accumulate sheer cold at a slower rate. They also gain 35% extra crit rate against opponents inside of Dragonspine. And then on top of that, they deal 50% extra damage via the Scarlet Quartz that you pick up. Those are the ones that you kill during the final battle with the flower. When you kill the slimes, they'll drop that, which are able to activate like Vaporize. It's basically just a fire explosion that you can equip on your character. So you'll just get a 50% damage bonus on top of that, and you can find them, of course, around the map. They're the red crystals, and you're able to use that to unlock like special rocks and stuff that have that special kind of effect on it. You use that to open up, get some chests and stuff. But other than that, it's just 50% extra damage bonus on top of that. And then they also deal 70% additional crit damage to opponents. So when you get that crit, it's going to be doing a lot of more damage. So I highly suggest getting this sword done because this sword is really, really good. I'm going to go ahead and pull it up here. I have it on my Albedo. And at Refinement Rank 5, it's really ridiculous. So Albedo already has naturally high energy recharge, but if you give him this on top of it, then he truly becomes an ult spamming champion. And it increases his E ability, the damage by 32%, and the crit rate on it by 12%. So even if you don't have a high crit rate on Albedo, like let's say you have like 20 or 30%, it's going to boost it to about 42% or around 32%. So like it's like a medium chance to a high chance of you performing a critical hit. And then, of course, the damage on it is scaled up by 32%, which is really, really, really good. So I suggest getting the sword done because you get the free Primo Gems, you get the free Mora, and you get the free sword, which this sword is obviously outstanding. I see a lot of people already have this at level 90 and maxed out because this sword is ridiculous. But other than that, I mean, there's nothing really much else to talk about the event. It was an outstanding event. I'm very, very pleased with it. There's no resin used at all, so you're just able to do it at will at any time you want. Whenever you get on Genshin, you're like, I don't feel like doing this, and then you wake up and you're like, you know what, I want to do this later. You can go do it later even if you don't have any resin at all, which I think is amazing. I hope they continue to go down this path and keep these events free-to-play friendly, as in no resin. I love it. Thank you, Mihoyo, for this event. Thank you, and everyone for watching. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Peace out.